Hey everybody, this video is about some pros and cons to getting gastric bypass surgery, a bariatric surgery where they close off your stomach, basically reroute around your stomach and make a small pouch out of your small intestine where that becomes your stomach. And I'm sure a lot of you, if you're looking at this video, are thinking about it now possibly, or maybe you've had the surgery. And I didn't think there was a lot of quorums in the North Country, so I wanted to talk to different people that are on their own health journeys and trying to figure out what to do. So I'm gonna, as briefly as I can, and I'm not a very fast talker. If I were my son, I would be putting this on at least 1.5, probably 2, to be fair. But I'm going to go over some of the pros and cons that I went through in my mind before I decided to get the surgery done, and things that you considered, and maybe there's some things that you want to talk about with yours. So the situation is that I wanted to leave people, a lot of the people that I know that got this surgery, and I'm sure you all know people who got this surgery, and the problem becomes, do you become a spokesman for the surgery? Is there still a lot of stigma about it? And I think that's ridiculous. You're somebody with a health problem who's getting help, and obviously it's a pretty drastic decision. So it's a pretty drastic procedure. So it's a shame when people brush it under the covers or try to act like they haven't had the surgery, or I guess they're afraid of failing, or they're afraid of the stigma, and society sees it. I just want to, hey, let's just open it up. It's a similar thing to how terrible the stigma of drug addiction and things are. I mean, most of the people in my situation have a food addiction. A lot of people in other situations have addictions to drugs, and how people, these are people with a medical problem. These aren't people that need to be arrested. These aren't people that need to be teased and bullied. These aren't people that need a bunch of your judgment. They just need the medical facts to come out. They just need help. They need encouragement. They need people to talk to them and talk about things. And I guarantee there's plenty of people that have a similar problem. So I don't want you to feel alone, and I don't care. It's not brave. It's just I've never given any F's, and I continue to do that. So anyway, but it's a serious decision. It's a serious decision because it's a surgery, and it's not little. It's a BFD. Okay, it's a very big deal. I've put down as my I put my pros and cons down on a sheet here, and then a kid that I know started realizing, hey, that they were onto me. All of my pros and cons were the same thing. I have an equal number of them. My dog's after a chipmunk. Both of them are after chipmunks now. So anyway, because it's not an equal thing. Or maybe there's the same number of pros and cons, but one is more pro than con. And for you have to make your own decision, and you really need to think about it and choose wisely. So I put as a pro my kids and my family, because I'm thinking long term. For a pro, it's a long term help to a lot of health problems. I've got lots of family history with health problems that are not helped by being very obese, okay? And I've had cousins that have had the surgery, and I've had cousins that haven't had the surgery and have suffered with real severe health problems, only like 10 years older than me, and even some that have passed away at a young age, and grandparents and aunts and uncles that have passed away at a fairly young age. And I'm kind of a chip off the old block of my paternal grandmother, who was very similar, and she was a smart lady, which is great, but she also seemed, oh, sorry Grandma P, did you knock that over just now? No, it's just my stomach. And she was a smart lady, which is great, genetically, but also genetically she was old school, overweight, in a time when they had so few resources. It seems impossible to me that she could have gotten overweight from, just from simple cause and effect. So she's very predisposed, and she ended up having cancers, diabetes, congestive heart failure, you name it. So I don't want any of that. I don't have any of that, luckily, okay? And I want my children and my family. I want to be able to see my grandkids. I want to be able to see my kids' weddings in the future. And so for long term, and I don't want them to have to deal with the difficulties of putting me in the hospital and dealing with a possible untimely death. So this is one way. Even if you gain the weight back, you still gain a pretty serious level of protection against heart problems and different things than people that don't. So thumbs up. Now I also put my family, my kids, my family in the cons column because I don't, some other traditional ways to lose weight have been helpful in the past, and so I don't want to put myself at risk it's a big surgery, it's a major deal, and if something were to happen, I've had, in some of my other surgeries, I've had a bad reaction to the pain. If my dogs took off, I swear to God. Molly! As long as one is on the property, then the other one won't leave. Do you guys have that? Do you ever have that? They only take off in packs. They're only trouble when they get together. They're double trouble, right? So anyway, sorry. So yeah, I had a terrible time one time. My heart stopped. So that was kind of a con. That's a bit of a con. Which brings me to my past surgeries. A pro of my surgeries is I recently had a surgery at St. Joe's, and it was a extremely good experience. It was textbook done, well done. They got the IVs in, great, which is usually a big hassle for me, and it was they just had the equipment and the staff and everything, and did a fabulous job. And the anesthesiologist would never use, that they never use morphine, they never use recovery anesthetic like that, and so then that I was probably not even allergic to the anesthesia at the hospital I got it. So I thought, well, you know, maybe this location is a good spot. Also, I did have a brush with these tumors. I had started to try to get ready to have the surgery, and so I went to my OBGYN for a checkup. I was trying to do the rounds with all the doctors. I'm going to do rounds with all the doctors. I'm going to do my checkups and everything. And when I went to my OBGYN, guess what? They found a bunch of masses. Since my uterus had been removed, the masses were all up and around my ovaries. So St. Joe's did a great job. Dr. Adelson did a great job, and got them all removed, I hope, I assume. But they turned out to be, they weren't cancer, thank goodness. There rarely are cancers like that. They're usually all just benign, but this one did happen to be what they call borderline. So my OBGYN said, you know, you really dodged a bullet. And I know you were looking into the surgery, and I think it might be a great alternative for you. And from that, and I wanted to use St. Joe's. And as far as the surgery goes, one of the drawbacks is that with the diet, you can end up getting gallstones a lot. You need to have your gallbladder removed, and sometimes they'll even, they'll consider that before the surgery. Well, the good news for me, sort of good news, bad news, because I hated that surgery too that I got locally, is that I already had my gallbladder removed because I'd had so many low-fat diets and everything in the past, and 5 pregnancies. I had gotten a lot of gallstones, and then I had gallstone attack, and I had it removed, but it was very painful because of all the gas. But anyway, so that's water under the bridge. Those are 2 good things that came out of surgery to sort of negate the other things that were bad about surgeries. And so that's why you have to pick the right place. You have to pick a place you're comfortable with. You have to pick a doctor you're comfortable with, and where you feel like you get the best care possible, and it'll mitigate a lot of the factors. Apparently, really the statistics are much higher now than used to be in the past for this type of surgery. They have a lot more practice these days. They don't take they're going to check all the risk factors on you and not take you if you're going to be a problem. So the next thing I have on my list is my job, because I just started out my job basically a month before I'm going to have the surgery. So that was rough, but it's a pro because, hey, I finally got a job, praise the Lord, and it's such a good job, and they're good folks, and they don't need me to be too active. I'm going to take a couple weeks off, and then when I get back and after I lose some weight, I mean, right now I can't. I'm trying to do crisscross applesauce with the preschoolers, or play games outside with the middle schoolers at the playground time. Impossible. I can't. If I get down on the ground, if I get down on the grass, I have to have the kids help pull me up. And I mean, that's taking up all my kids' time. So, Also, money is a question, luckily I've got good insurance, so now is a good time for that. Um, Also, it's going to save me money in grocery purchases, so that's one thing. It will cost more in vitamins, allow for that, and there'll be medications, and there'll be co-pays and things like that. So another pro slash con is your relationship with food. You're going to really miss it. You're going to miss eating. You've got to find a different outlet from food. I mean, you can still enjoy things, but in tiny bit moderation. So that's kind of a pro. And it's also a pro when you feel like out of control with food, when you're not even enjoying it, you're just binge eating it. And I felt good about doing this surgery after I had the hysterectomy and the ovaries out. I mean, I wouldn't want to do this in correlation with a pregnancy. I see some studies that say, hey, it's better that you would get the surgery before you had kids because you're at risk if you're so overweight when you get pregnant. I wasn't overweight when I first got pregnant, so I guess it depends on the individual, but I would find it awfully rough to have such a tiny stomach and go, check me if I'm wrong, but to have such a tiny stomach and then to eat for two and also not be sick. I was so sick with morning sickness and everything during pregnancy, and I can't help but think it relates. It's got to be difficult because after the surgery you have to take all of these vitamins. You already have to take, and you have to take prenatal vitamins. I just don't know. I just don't know. I think you see the majority of people around my age doing it because. And another thing about getting after a hysterectomy is then your metabolism will have dropped. It was already a snail's pace, and I would find I would exercise and I'd make some headway about in the summertime because I like to swim, I like to be active then. And if I was concentrating on it and going to the gym and everything, I'd lose about 40 pounds in the summertime usually. I had the best results with Atkins probably because then I wouldn't feel hungry if I cut sugar out entirely. But I still felt denied, you know. And I'd have luck, but as the years, every year moved on, it seemed like it was less and less. And as soon as the fall comes, like the weather is now, as soon as fall gets here, guess what? It's holiday time. It's Halloween. It's Thanksgiving. It's Christmas. It's everybody's birthday. Needs a birthday cake. Son's birthday is on Christmas. So. That's just a stuffy face fest. Sorry, American culture. I think we know how this happens. It's not, there's accessories to our crimes. And I'm guilty of overindulging, and I'm guilty of not being as good a guardian for my kids, and tend to fill the stockings with candy and take them on the Easter egg hunts and fill the eggs with chocolate. But I'm turning over a new leaf. Also, I'm trying to put different focus on on things on our relationship with food, and hopefully that will get me somewhere. And I'm hoping maybe I can get a few different people to talk to. And there's not really an Overeaters Anonymous in this area, and if folks get some help out of the videos, and if they have comments or want me to talk about something in particular, I hope I can help. It's a lot to go through. It's a lot to deal with, and I hope that as it progresses, I can keep giving you updates and give you some things to look for that you might not like, and maybe some inspiration too. A lot of people inspired me. So, okay, I'm going again. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye from Mama Debs.